Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into a pretty big question. What does it mean to be human? You sent over some excerpts from What Does It Mean to Be Human? I gotta say,
Yeah.
it's a pretty fascinating read.
It is a really, really interesting question. And it's
Yeah.
something that, philosophers have been grappling with for centuries.
Right, right.
And-
And the source material jumps right in and it says, humans are unique.
Mhm.
We're not just another species on this planet. And
Yeah.
it kind of makes you realize there's something special about us, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. The source actually points to 5 core characteristics that set us apart. Self-awareness, consciousness, complex reasoning,
Okay.
language, and the influence of culture and ethics. It's almost like they're laying out the building blocks of humanity right there.
So we have the ingredients, but what makes these specific traits so significant? Like why these and not others?
Well, each one plays a critical role in shaping the human experience. Take self-awareness, for example. It's more than just recognizing ourselves in a mirror, right?
Yeah.
It's about understanding that we exist as individuals,
Yeah.
separate from the world around us.
Right.
And that leads to some pretty big questions, wouldn't you say?
Right. Like, what's my purpose? Or, what happens after I die? I mean, you don't really see other animals having these existential anxieties, do you?
Exactly. And the source even points out how self-awareness influences moral development.
Okay.
Like, we can reflect on our actions, judge them, and strive to be better.
So it's not just about being aware of ourselves.
Right.
But it's about using that awareness to shape who we are and how we behave.
Exactly. And that ties directly into our next core characteristic, our incredible reasoning powerhouse.
Oh, yeah. We're problem solvers, inventors, builders. It's like we're constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
And it's all thanks to our unique ability for complex reasoning.
Right.
It's not just about solving everyday problems, though. Think about abstract concepts like mathematics or philosophy.
Yeah.
I mean, humans have developed incredibly complex systems of thought that have shaped our understanding of the universe and our place within it.
I remember the source material even showed a visual of some pretty intense mathematical equations.
Right.
As if to say, look what the human mind can achieve.
Exactly. From the invention of the wheel to the development of artificial intelligence, our ability to think critically and solve complex problems has fueled progress throughout history.
It's really one of the things that sets us apart.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about something that I think is just mind-blowing. Language. It's not just about speaking. It's about sharing intricate thoughts, building communities, passing down entire histories and cultures.
Absolutely. And get this, there's actually a theory called universal grammar,
Okay.
developed by a linguist named Noam Chomsky, which suggests that humans have an innate ability to learn language. It's as if we're pre-wired for it.
Wow. So it's not just a skill we learn, it's literally built into our DNA.
That's the theory. And it's pretty mind-blowing. Think about how much language has shaped human history. I mean, without it, we wouldn't have the rich tapestry of cultures, traditions, and knowledge that define us.
The source material had a picture of a library filled with books.
Right.
And it really emphasized how we store and share knowledge through language.
Yeah.
It just made me think, like, what would our world be like without books,
Right.
without stories,
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
written history?
It's hard to imagine, right? And through language, we transmit culture,
Right.
morality, and ethics. These aren't instinctive behaviors. They're learned and passed down through generations.
It's almost like there's social contracts
Right.
shaping how we interact within communities.
Yeah.
Different cultures have different social norms and values, but it's fascinating how these unwritten rules influence our behavior so deeply.
And think about how those unwritten rules have changed over time.
Right.
What was considered acceptable behavior, centuries ago might be completely unacceptable today.
Totally.
It shows how dynamic human societies are,
Right.
constantly adapting and evolving.
And that evolution, I think, often stems from our creativity. It's amazing how humans can think outside the box.
Yeah.
We're constantly generating new ideas,
Right.
expressing ourselves in so many ways. Art, music, literature, you name it.
It's like we have a eureka switch in our brains.
Totally. That spark of inspiration.
Yeah.
That leads to a masterpiece or a scientific breakthrough or even just a new way of looking at an old problem.
Speaking of new ways of looking at things, the source actually highlighted both creativity and innovation as essential human traits.
Yeah.
We don't just come up with ideas.
Right.
We find ways to bring them to life.
Yeah.
Whether it's painting on a canvas or composing a symphony or designing a skyscraper.
We're doers, not just dreamers.
Absolutely.
And that drive to create and innovate has led to countless advancements that have improved our lives in so many ways.
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
And yet there's another side to this coin, right?
Okay.
Humans are also capable of great destruction and cruelty. It's a duality that's hard to ignore.
It makes you wonder, is that darker side also a part of what makes us human? This capacity for both good and evil.
That's the question, isn't it? Perhaps it's the tension between those forces that drives us to evolve and strive for something better.
Speaking of striving for better, let's not forget empathy and compassion.
Yeah,
These qualities are like the glue that holds societies together.
absolutely.
It's what allows us to connect with others on a deeper level, to understand their struggles, and to be moved to help.
And it's not just about feeling sorry for someone. It's
Yeah.
about understanding their perspective,
Right.
even if it's different from your own.
Exactly. And that understanding can be so powerful. It can motivate us to create systems of support, to fight for justice and equality, and to build communities where everyone feels valued and respected.
It's interesting to think about how empathy and compassion have shaped human history. Think about the abolition of slavery, the fight for civil rights, the development of organizations dedicated to helping those in need. These movements were all fueled by empathy
Yeah.
and a desire to create a more just and compassionate world.
Okay, so we've talked about these 5 core concepts. Self-awareness, reasoning, language, creativity, and empathy. How do these characteristics combine to define what it truly means to be human?
That's the million-dollar question.
Is there a unifying thread?
You know, the source material actually used this visual of a glowing book to represent this culmination of traits.
Okay.
It was as if they were suggesting that it's the complex interaction of these characteristics that makes us who we are. Not any single trait in isolation, but rather the symphony of all of them working together.
So it's not just that we possess these traits, but it's how they interact and influence each other that truly defines us.
Exactly. We're not just a collection of parts. We're a complex system where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
And that system, that complex interplay of characteristics, that's what sets us apart from all the other species, shaping the beauty and complexity of the human experience.
It really is.
It's why we can write poetry, build bridges, and launch rockets into space.
But it's also why we can be cruel,
Right?
selfish, and destructive. It's a fascinating paradox.
It is. It makes you think, what choices will we make?
Right.
How will we use this incredible power that comes with being human?
It's a big question.
I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of this topic.
And that's the beauty of it, right? The question of what it means to be human is a wellspring of endless fascination.
Yeah.
It's something we grapple with individually and collectively throughout our lives.
It's like a giant puzzle with pieces constantly being
right.
discovered and rearranged as we learn more about ourselves and the world around us.
Exactly. And with all the advancements in fields like artificial intelligence and biotechnology, the lines are becoming even more blurred.
Right.
It makes you wonder how these technologies will shape our definition of humanity in the future.
It's exciting and a little bit daunting to think about, isn't it?
It certainly is. But ultimately, I believe that grappling with these questions is essential to our growth as a species.
So, in this deep dive, we've explored the multifaceted nature of humanity.
Yeah.
We've seen how self-awareness, reasoning, language, creativity, and empathy intertwine to create the rich tapestry of human experience.
We've discussed how these characteristics set us apart from other species and empower us to achieve extraordinary things, but also acknowledge the potential for darkness that exists within us.
Yeah. And I think perhaps most importantly, we've been encouraged to keep asking questions.
Absolutely.
To delve deeper into the mysteries of what it means to be human.
Right.
And to use our understanding to create a better world for ourselves and future generations.
And as you continue to ponder these ideas, we leave you with one final question to reflect on.
Yeah.
In a world increasingly shaped by technology and globalization, how can we nurture and celebrate the qualities that make us uniquely human?
This deep dive has provided a framework for understanding the core elements of humanity. But the exploration doesn't end here. We encourage you to continue this journey of discovery and see where your own reflections lead you.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
Thanks for having me. We really could talk about this forever, huh?
I know, right? It's like every answer leads to even more questions.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? The source material actually had a whole section with thought-provoking discussion points.
Okay.
We kind of got caught up in the conversation and almost skipped over them.
Oh, you're right. There were some real gems in there.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
Okay, the first one asks, what are the defining characteristics that distinguish humans from other species? I mean, we've kind of touched on this already, but
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear your take. Is there one specific trait that stands out to you as the most defining?
You know, it's tricky to isolate just one because it's the interplay of all these characteristics
Right.
that make us unique.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose, I'd say it's our capacity for abstract thought.
Okay.
Other animals might exhibit problem-solving skills or even basic communication.
Right.
But humans have this ability to conceptualize things that don't physically exist.
Like ideas, beliefs, values.
Exactly. We can imagine the future, reflect on the past, and create entire systems of thought based on abstract concepts.
Okay.
Like justice, freedom, or even mathematical theorems.
It's like we're living in two worlds simultaneously, the physical world around us
Right.
and the world of ideas within our minds.
Precisely. And that ability to navigate both worlds?
Yeah.
That's a hallmark of what it means to be human.
Okay, the next question dives a little deeper into language.
Yeah.
How do language and communication shape human interaction and cultural development? I think we both agree that language is vital.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to explore the nuances of how it shapes us as individuals
Okay.
and as a society.
Imagine a world without language for a moment. No shared stories, no complex ideas passed down through generations,
Yeah.
no ability to organize and cooperate on a large scale. It's almost impossible to conceive, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, we can communicate through gestures and facial expressions, but to convey
Yeah.
abstract thoughts, emotions, and ideas, that requires something more.
Exactly. Language is the foundation of our cultures, our laws, our art, our very understanding of the world.
Right.
It's the tool we use to transmit knowledge, build relationships, and create meaning.
And not just transmit, but also to transform, right?
Yes.
Language isn't static.
Right.
It's constantly evolving, reflecting changes in society and culture. I mean, think about how new words and phrases emerge all the time, reflecting new technologies, social trends, or even just our changing understanding of the world.
You're right. Language is a living, breathing entity,
Yeah.
constantly adapting to the needs of its speakers.
Right.
And that adaptability is a testament to the creative power of the human mind.
It's fascinating how language doesn't just allow us to communicate,
Yeah.
but it actually shapes how we think and interact.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed how different languages have different ways of expressing concepts or emotions?
Absolutely. For instance, some languages have specific words for emotions that don't have direct equivalents in other languages.
Right.
It makes you wonder if speaking a certain language shapes how you perceive and experience the world.
That's a mind-blowing thought.
Yeah.
Like language isn't just a tool for communication. It's a lens through which we view reality.
And that lens is constantly being shaped and reshaped by our interactions with others, by the stories we tell, by
Right.
the cultures we create. It's a dynamic process
Yeah.
that underscores the interconnectedness of language, thought, and culture.
Okay, here's the final question from the source material, and it's a big one. In what ways do empathy and compassion contribute to the betterment of society? We can all agree that these qualities are essential
Absolutely.
for building a harmonious and just world. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the specific ways they manifest in society.
Well, think about it this way. Empathy and compassion are the driving forces behind altruism. Kindness and social progress. They allow us to connect with others on a deeper level, to understand their struggles,
Right.
and to be moved to act for the greater good. Without empathy, we'd be a society driven solely by self-interest,
Right.
with little regard for the well-being of others.
It's like imagining a world without charity or volunteers
Yeah.
or people who dedicate their lives to helping those in need. It'd be a pretty bleak picture.
Absolutely. Empathy is what inspires us to create systems of support, to fight for justice and equality, and to build communities where everyone feels valued and respected.
And it's not just about grand gestures
Right.
or sweeping social movements. It's also about the small acts of kindness
Yeah.
that we see every day, helping a neighbor, donating to a local charity, or simply offering a listening ear to someone who's struggling. These seemingly insignificant acts,
Yeah.
when multiplied across a society,
Yeah.
can have a profound impact.
You're so right. It's the cumulative effect of these small acts of empathy. That creates a ripple effect,
Yeah.
fostering a culture of compassion and understanding.
It's like that saying, be the change you wish to see in the world.
Exactly.
Every act of empathy, no matter how small, contributes to creating a more compassionate and just society.
It all comes back to that glowing book imagery from the source material.
Yeah.
It's as if all these qualities, self-awareness, reason, language, creativity, and empathy, come together to illuminate the essence of humanity, and it's that light that guides us towards a better future.
It's a beautiful thought, and it really resonates with me. It's like we have this incredible potential within us,
Yeah,
and it's up to each of us to choose how we use it.
absolutely.
To use it to build walls or to build bridges.
Right.
To spread fear or to spread love.
That's the challenge and the beauty of being human.
Yeah.
We have the power to choose our path, to shape our destiny,
Right.
and to create a world that reflects the best of what it means to be human.
That's a powerful message. And it feels like a fitting way to wrap up our discussion on this profound topic.
Yeah.
But before we do, I'm curious to get your perspective on something that's been on my mind. We've talked a lot about what makes us human,
Yeah.
but what about the future of humanity? With all the advancements in technology, particularly in fields like artificial intelligence, how do you see our understanding of what it means to be human evolving?
That's a question that's been on the minds of philosophers and scientists for decades now.
Right.
And it's only becoming more pressing as technology continues to advance at an exponential rate.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest challenges we face is how to define the boundaries of humanity in an age where technology is blurring the lines between human and machine.
It's almost like science fiction is becoming reality right before our eyes.
Yeah.
We have artificial intelligence systems that can compose music, write poetry, and even hold conversations that are eerily similar to those we have with other humans.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, at what point does a machine become human-like enough to challenge our definition of what it means to be human?
It's a question that forces us to confront our own assumptions about consciousness, intelligence, and creativity. Are these qualities exclusive to humans, or can they be replicated in machines? And if they can, what does that mean for our understanding of ourselves?
It's almost like we need to redefine what makes us special.
Yeah.
What sets us apart from the machines we create.
I think you're right. We need to look beyond our physical capabilities and focus on the qualities that make us uniquely human. Our empathy, our compassion, our ability to love, to dream, to aspire to something greater than ourselves.
Yeah.
These are the qualities that machines, no matter how intelligent they become, may never be able to fully replicate.
So it's not about competing with machines, but about recognizing the value of what makes us human and nurturing those qualities within ourselves and in future generations.
Exactly. As we enter this new era of technological advancement, it's more important than ever to hold on to the things that make us human, to celebrate our shared humanity, and to use our unique abilities to create a world that reflects the best of what it means to be human.
It's a hopeful message in a time of uncertainty and rapid change.
It is.
It reminds us that even as the world around us transforms, the essence of what it means to be human remains constant.
And it's that essence, that spark of humanity within each of us that will guide us as we navigate the challenges and opportunities of the future.
What a profound thought. And it feels like a perfect note to end on. But before we officially wrap up, I wanted to touch on something you said earlier about the need to redefine the boundaries of humanity in an age of advancing technology. It got me thinking, is it possible that technology, instead of diminishing our humanity, could actually enhance it?
That's a fascinating question, and one that I think is worth exploring further. It's easy to get caught up in the fear that technology will dehumanize us. But what if it actually has the potential to amplify our human qualities, to connect us in ways we never thought possible, and to expand our understanding of what it means to be human?
I love that perspective. Instead of fearing the future, we can embrace the possibilities it holds.
Absolutely.
And use technology as a tool to augment our humanity. Not replace it.
Exactly. Imagine a world where technology helps us to overcome our physical limitations, to connect with people from all over the world, access information and knowledge in ways we never thought possible.
It's like taking all the best aspects of being human. Our creativity, our curiosity, our empathy, and amplifying them with the power of technology.
Precisely. And that's a future I'm excited to be a part of.
Me too. It's like a whole new chapter is unfolding in this story of humanity.
Yeah.
It's up to us to write it.
And what a story it could be. Full of possibilities, challenges, and opportunities to redefine what it means to be human in an ever-evolving world.
This has been an incredible deep dive. We've explored so many facets of what it means to be human, from our innate characteristics to the influence of language and culture, and even the potential impact of technology on our future.
It's been a truly enlightening conversation, and I hope it sparks some deep reflection for our listeners.
I'm sure it has. We've covered so much ground,
Yeah.
but I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
Right.
There's always more to learn, to explore, and to ponder about the human experience.
And that's the beauty of it. The journey of understanding ourselves and our place in the world is a lifelong endeavor.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with one final thought to ponder.
Okay.
In a world that's constantly changing, what does it mean to be human in the 21st century and beyond? Wow, it really does feel like we've gone on a journey today.
It's amazing how much ground we've covered.
Yeah. And it all started with that one question. What does it mean to be human?
It's a question that never gets old, does it?
No, not at all. And the source material was really cleverly crafted, kind of guided us through all these different ideas and perspectives.
Remember that visual they used with the glowing book?
Oh, yeah.
That was a really powerful image.
It really was. It was like all those core human characteristics coming together to illuminate what it means to be human.
It wasn't just about possessing those traits in isolation.
Right.
It was about how they interact and influence each other, creating something truly unique and extraordinary.
Exactly. So to recap what we've learned today, we started by exploring those 5 core characteristics that set humans apart, right? Self-awareness, reasoning, language, creativity, and empathy.
Yeah, those are the building blocks.
Yeah. We talked about how each trait contributes to the complexity of the human experience and how they've shaped our history, our cultures, and our understanding of the world around us.
We even delved into some fascinating theories along the way.
Oh, yeah. Like Chomsky's theory of universal grammar.
Right. That one always blows my mind a little bit.
It's like we're pre-wired for communication,
Yeah?
for connection, for building communities and sharing ideas.
Absolutely. And then we talked about how language isn't just a tool for communication. It's actually a driving force behind cultural development.
It's how we transmit knowledge, values, and traditions from one generation to the next.
It shapes our understanding of the world.
And our place within it.
And of course, we can't forget about creativity.
Oh, yeah. That human spark.
It's what's driven us to explore new frontiers, to create art that moves us, and to build societies that strive for a better future.
And speaking of a better future, we also talked about the importance of empathy and compassion.
Those are essential ingredients.
They really are. They're essential for building a harmonious and just world.
They allow us to connect with others on a deeper level, to understand their struggles, and to be moved to act for the greater good.
It's like empathy is the bridge that connects us to one another.
It allows us to see the world through someone else's eyes.
Right, and to understand their experiences, even if they're different from our own.
And that understanding can be so powerful. It can motivate us to create systems of support, to fight for justice and equality, and to build communities where everyone feels valued and respected.
It all comes back to that core idea of interconnectedness.
Yeah.
We're not isolated individuals. We're part of a larger whole. And our actions have a ripple effect on the world around us.
Empathy allows us to recognize that interconnectedness.
Right.
And to act in ways that benefit not just ourselves, but also our communities and the planet as a whole.
It's a beautiful concept, and it's something we can all strive to cultivate in our daily lives.
Absolutely. Even small acts of kindness can make a difference.
They really can. And, as we continue to grapple with the complexities of the 21st century, I think empathy will become even more crucial.
Yeah.
With all the challenges we face, climate change, social inequality, political polarization.
It's more important than ever.
We need to be able to understand and connect with people who have different perspectives, different backgrounds, different experiences.
We need to tap into that shared humanity that binds us together, despite our differences.
And that's where empathy comes in.
It allows us to build bridges instead of walls.
Right.
To find common ground instead of focusing on what divides us.
Exactly. And, as technology continues to advance at this unprecedented pace, I think empathy will play an even more important role in shaping our future.
It's vital that we ensure that technology is used in ways that enhance our humanity,
Right.
not diminish it.
We need to use it to connect with people, to build communities, to solve problems,
Yeah.
and to create a world that's more just, more compassionate, and more sustainable.
It's like technology is a tool,
Yeah.
and it's up to us to decide how we use it.
We can use it to create or to destroy, to connect or to isolate, to empower or to exploit.
The choice is ours. And I believe that by embracing empathy, by cultivating compassion, and by recognizing our shared humanity, we can use technology to build a better future for ourselves and for generations to come.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the question of what it means to be human, we want to leave you with this final thought. What does it mean to be human in a world that's constantly changing? A world increasingly shaped by technology, a world facing unprecedented challenges. What qualities do we need to cultivate? What choices do we need to make? How can we use our unique human abilities to create a world that's worthy of our humanity? These are questions we all need to grapple with. There's no easy answer, but the journey itself is what makes us human. Our capacity for self-reflection, for critical thinking, for seeking understanding, for striving to be better. That's the essence of what it means to be human. And that journey of self-discovery and growth never truly ends. It's something we carry with us throughout our lives. So keep exploring, keep questioning, keep connecting. And thank you for joining us on the Deep Dive.